last prize situation game. You can't really ask for more in the Pokemon trading card game. And, Jeffrey still could have won that. Maybe he top decks a Lysander. He can pull up that damaged Golbat, and then he's the winner of this game.
Yeah, you never know. So we are going to start game number 2 here in the finals of the Senior Division Pokemon TCG World Championships. Of course, if you're watching at home, feel free to use the hashtag PlayPokemon. Your tweet may be featured on the stream, and you can join the conversation.
All right, so this time Patrick's starting the mighty Seismitoad EX. So if he does his energy, he can drop it immediately. Jeffrey, on the other hand, he's got double Hawlucha, so he's going to start getting ready to apply as much damage as he can off a single energy on Flying Press.
This looks like a much more explosive start for Jeffrey. Gets to drop down the Hawlucha with the Silver Bangle, plays an Ultra Ball, so he's getting rid of an item card, and I assume the last card in his hand is a supporter, perhaps that Professor Sycamore or an N or something like that.
Yeah, once again, this is all you can really hope for. Get a couple of Vampy down, get the Hawlucha ready to start, and see where it takes you.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what that supporter he has in his hand. It looks like it is an N. Again, would have preferred a Professor Sycamore there so you could draw 7, but drawing 6, that's not bad either.
Not at all, especially if you've played a couple of cards out of your hand to begin with.
Yeah. So here we go, and both players will shuffle in and draw 6 cards. Jeffrey's deck was already shuffled, so he's just going to go ahead and say, all right, we're drawing 6, and Patrick going to shuffle his hand in and get a fresh hand of 6.
Wasn't able to see what he had in his hand, but I'm sure on this new one, he's hoping to find a double colorless energy.
Yeah. Staring down Seismitoad EX right away is pretty intimidating. Especially because Jeffrey is going first. He can't attack, so he can't put any additional pressure on there. Will put down a Silent Lab, though. That could stop any sort of Shaman EX plays from coming out.
Yeah, Patrick needs to have the replacement stadium in hand. Otherwise, that could slow him down considerably.
All right, so we'll see what Patrick can do. Jeffrey just passes the turn, gets a Zubat down, and again, that Crobat line is so crucial in this matchup. This Donphan deck really struggles to deal with Golbat and Crobat with a fighting resistance, and just the extra damage makes it easier to knock out Hawlucha and Donphan.
Immediately attaching the lightning energy, so once again, no turn 1 Quaking Punch.
You see Patrick looks a little frustrated, just plays an energy and passes the turn. Ouch.
Yeah, we got Focus Sash down on Hawlucha, where it could matter if the bats don't come out. And the one that can attack with the Silver Bangle is going to hit hard.
Yeah, the Silver Bangle is just perfect math. Usually do 60, but now you do 90 each attack. And actually, Patrick now draws the double colorless energy a turn too late. Basically has to commit the extra energy there and plays a Professor Juniper, drawing a fresh 7.
Yeah, often not very pretty. That said, he almost has the combination to grab the knockout here. He just needs to find himself either the Stadium or a Muscle Band.
Yeah, either one of those will result in this Hawlucha being knocked out. But misses the knockout, so now Jeffrey can knock him out with Flying Press.
That one turn is so crucial. That Hawlucha was dealing 90 damage off this single energy. He didn't have any easy way to add another quick 90 off his own Hawlucha. And so even though this one will fall to poison between turns, you're losing 1 prize to 2 from Seismitoad. That's a good trade.
Yeah, you'll take that trade. Down goes Seismitoad EX along with that precious double colorless energy. Double knockout here. Jeffrey gets to collect his 2 prize cards. And then both players actually have to promote a new Pokemon.
For a brief moment, the field is clear.
Yeah. So yeah, Patrick does have to promote his Pokemon first. It was knocked out by damage, and then Jeffrey's was knocked out in between turns by poison. So I doubt it actually mattered either way. You're promoting a free retreat Pokemon from Patrick, and Jeffrey's going to promote Hawlucha regardless.
Yeah, his own free retreat Pokemon. Yeah. It all works out. But yeah, as you can see, Jeffrey was able to take 2 prize cards because Seismitoad is an EX Pokemon, while Patrick only able to grab 1.
Yeah, and again, taking prizes this quickly can backfire when your opponent can play N, especially in conjunction with Seismitoad EX's Quaking Punch. There is a double colorless energy. Gonna go ahead, drop Golbat, and do the sneaky bite, put 2 damage counters on the Donphan on the bench. The question here is, can he find Muscle Band, get enough damage to knock out Hawlucha this turn?
Yeah, and if he can't, it's going to be tough because he has to start taking 3 different Hawlucha's attacks, eventually working against the Seismitoad. But another crucial thing for Patrick is going to be, can he eventually set up some of those awesome Lysander knockouts on Donphan with weakness Quaking Punch?
Yeah, he won't be able to this turn because he's already played his supporter for the turn. But yeah, does he find a Muscle Band? Does he find Hypnotoxic Laser? Anything to do additional damage? Yes, there is Hypnotoxic Laser. And
Start on Halucha. The sleep flip could be big too if it activates.
oh yeah, those are always big if something stays asleep, especially when you get hit by a quaking punch, because then you can't play anything like a switch to get out of it.
That's one of the common conversations you have with new players. You're hit by sleep. You're like, oh, I'll just switch. And
Double
you can't.
colorless energy on the Donphan. It is ready to wreck.
Oh man. And there's a stadium in play, so he will be able to hit for maximum damage.
Yeah, I think he might be a little short. I can't remember how much.
Is it like 80 plus 70, something like that?
Yeah, so instead he's just going to spinning turn. Yeah, he would have been 20 short. That is a silent lab out there, not a fighting stadium. So it would have been 160 with the wreck.
Yeah, it's so it goes ahead, spinning turn, safe play, deal some damage.
Now this does open up an opportunity for Patrick. Already 2 damage counters on the Donphan. If he could find Lysander, Muscle Band, and Hypnotoxic Laser, he can bring out that Donphan that has all 4 energy and knock it out.
Yeah, if he doesn't, that Donphan is going to get some pretty good value coming up.
Yep. So again, it's all on Patrick.
There it is.
Here's the Lysander. You see Jeffrey looking a little worried. Does he have it all? There's Hypnotoxic Laser. Oh, does he have the Muscle Band to go with it?
He didn't reveal it last turn, so he might have to play a draw card to find one. But he already did play the Lysander, so maybe is he just relying on the sleep flip here?
I mean, that's pretty powerful too.
50-50 chance that Jeffrey's going to lose all of those energy over the course of 2 quaking punches.
Oh man, here we go. This is such a huge
big flip. Heads and it's a wreck. Tails and you get wrecked.
Oh. Oh wait, that's heads.
Darn you, TPCI, and your trick Pokemon dice. Some of them, the Pokeball is a head. Some of them, the Pokeball is a tails. You got to look at the opposite side. That time, it was actually the heads flip variety.
Yep, and Donphan wakes up. I'm sure Jeffrey was delighted to look at the other side of the die and say, hey, wait, this one's the 6. I'm awake.
Yeah, it's either there's a 1 on the opposite side or a 6. You always got to check. That time worked in his favor, and he wrecks. Discards the stadium, deals massive damage at Donphan.
Yeah, he gets the wreck, gets the knockout, goes down to 2 prizes, but he goes down to 2 prizes. That means N puts him at 2 cards, and Seismitoad EX gets another double colorless energy. Quaking Punch will knock out Donphan. We're going to have a similar situation to the last game where Jeffrey has a big prize lead, but can he close out the game?
Yeah, despite that sort of awkward scenario where Patrick had to attach 3 energy to do 1 Quaking Punch, now he's getting a pretty steady stream of double colorless.
Yeah, he's been able to find exactly what he needs in the late game here in both of these games. Early game has been a pretty big struggle for him, but later in the game, he's just had a constant stream of Quaking Punch. Oh, and the Crobat knockout. So now Jeffrey has to promote something else to get attacked.
That basically gives Patrick 2 prize cards in this single turn. The Crobat knockout, not even an attack, just surprise bite. 3 damage counters.
Wow, and just like that, this game is turning around. Muscle Band going on to Seismitoad EX as well, and Super Scoop Up. Uh-oh.
And so he's got more bites in the future, including this one right here in the active. That's another prize.
That's 2 prize cards without even attacking yet.
These bats are vicious. He didn't get them that often in the last game, but here you're seeing the, Fampi up. That's going to get knocked out too.
That's going to be a triple prize turn for Patrick. Just like that, he's down 3 prizes, and the game will be tied after this turn.
Oh, baby. So Seismitoad up, hitting for weakness against Fampi. Wow. Knockout, 2 prizes to 2, but you can clearly see who has the most chips on their board.
Yep, Jeffrey, all he gets is that Karina. That's not very useful when you're getting hit by a Quaking Punch. Sure, you can search for that computer search, but you can't play it.
You can search for the search. You can't search with the search later.
And he does find strong energy though, so he will be able to put up a bit of a fight. Spinning turn hits for 60 damage. Can Patrick find the cards he needs to get a knockout here?
Yeah, you can get the 1-hit knockouts with Verbank City and Hypnotoxic Laser. There's one half of the puzzle. Or he can also start applying damage counters right here with the bats.
There's the Golbat. That'll put Halucha in range for that Quaking Punch knockout. See a Shaman EX going for a setup. We'll see if he can find anything else.
Oh, boy.
Did he draw something good off of those cards?
He's got a Crobat, so if he takes the knockout here on Halucha, he can knock out the next one with Crobat and Seismitoad combined, and that would make him the world champion.
Yep, there we go. There is Quaking Punch. Jeffrey's staring at his hand, doesn't look too pleased. I mean, he can spinning turn, but then he has to switch back into Halucha, which only has 70 HP.
And we know Halucha gets knocked out on the next turn after the Crobat, so he just leaves the Donphan active.
Yep, and looks like there's Crobat, and there it is. Patrick Martinez is your senior division Pokemon TCG World Champion.
Oh, man, you can see he's getting pumped.
Wow, incredible play from both sides. Jeffrey in both games got out to that quick lead, but we see it time and time again. N is just so powerful. Jeffrey just ran out of steam.
Yeah, and Patrick, huge props to him. That first game was looking really, really bad. I haven't seen a Seismitoad Quaking Punch that late in a long time, but still able to hold on to his pieces, take advantage of the fact that he does have an inherently good matchup, play the N, and turn the game around.
And that should tell you just how powerful Seismitoad EX's Quaking Punch really is. Even if you do it in the middle of a game, at the end of a game, just turning off item cards is so incredibly disruptive. It just shuts down your deck's whole strategy. You can't play those cards like Silver Bangle or Muscle Band anymore that would allow you to do extra damage and maybe knock out Seismitoad EX. Just really controls the pace of the game.
And while Seismitoad EX does have some decks that really do hard counter it, you almost always have to consider, like, am I going to run into Seismitoad this tournament? What about this tournament? And it turns out, in this tournament, it made it to the finals.
Yeah, congratulations to Patrick. He'll take home that $25,000 scholarship award. He is the world champion. He'll get an awesome trophy card to go with that.
Those are beautiful. They're getting better every year.
Oh, yeah.
I hope we can show them at some point.
But again, congratulations to Jeffrey as well. Second place, an incredible accomplishment. Both these players should be proud of what they've achieved this weekend.
And you hear the crowd giving it up for our two competitors. What a great finals. We'll be moving to the Masters finals next. And in a short moment, we're going to be having an interview with Patrick.